Good afternoon, everyone. I'm still Hector. So hopefully we'll put an injection to the presentations and we'll kind of get your interest to what we do. When Samir says Hector, that means run like lightning, sound like thunder. So that to me means that I get to introduce Romy and Gabi Camargo. There's a lot that I can stand here and say about Romy Camargo and Gabriela Camargo. But just as I said earlier this morning, that this is all about pulling everybody together. Romy was injured a while back, and there's a lot of spinal cord injured service members and veterans who have benefited for the research that Gabriela and Romulo have done. And they have shared that with the VA, DOD, spinal cord injury programs, and everybody else. And it's because some organizations like you, some of you are in the audience, who helped bring the link together to provide the purpose, direction that was needed to get the service member through. A lot of times, I'm their advocate, their RCC, you name it, but a lot of times when I am really tired, what have you, I'll call Romy, and he becomes my advocate. If you get a chance to talk to Romy, that's how he is, that's who he is. It's all about being, and on this cliche, but at the tip of the spear, and he is there. Enough said, I'll leave you with Romy Camargo.
Right, next slide. On 16th September 2008, I placed myself in the line of fire, shoulder to shoulder with my teammates. I was in Afghanistan stationed in a fire base in Spinal province, where I was the assistant detachment commander. The mission I had planned was disapproved because of helicopter issues. So we opted for a civil affairs mission. And that meant going into the nearest village, about 6 kilometers from our fire base, and helping the people. We had medical personnel, along with 2 female nurses to treat the villagers, and women and a veterinarian to take care of the animals. A large construction vehicle we were using to help construct the road for the village tipped over and became a hazard. With that, the mission was halted and we had to blow the vehicle in place. Once this was done, we all prepared to head back to the fire base. We were ambushed just outside the village by mortars, machine guns, and rocket-propelled grenades. Next slide. I told my interpreter, a 65-year-old woman named Soraya, to take place in the Humvee, to take my front seat in the Humvee. I assumed position in the Humvee's bed and started directing our counterattack with grenades and gunfire. When I reached down for the ammo, I felt a jaw-rattling punch to the back of my neck. Then I heard one of my teammates yell, "Chief's been hit. Chief's been hit." Then I passed out. Next slide. 3 days later, I woke. I was on a plane ride from a military hospital in Germany, headed to Walter Reed Medical Hospital in Washington, D.C. That's when my brother, who was on the plane with me, told me I had been shot. When I was shot, nobody expected me to live, but I did. Medical experts told me I would never breathe on my own, but I do now. Doctors said I would never walk again or be able to use my arms, but I will. Next slide. Since I was wounded, we have been working diligently to establish my full recovery. From taking the lead in my care at the VA to working closely with my care coalition advocates, doctors, and WTU personnel to affect policies so that other wounded, injured soldiers may receive the same benefits. Next slide. In July 2009, after 6 months of learning to breathe on my own, which was very taxing, I called a meeting with my doctors and advocates. During the meeting, we discussed several goals that I wanted to see. Next slide. One of them was for me to have a diaphragmatic pacing stimulator implanted so I could have some help with my breathing. This was one of the first policy battles that we had. My advocate at the Care Coalition worked hard on trying to have this approved. And once approved, I was able to have the DPS implanted. As my advocates worked on getting everything approved, there were major policy changes within TRICARE and the VAs that have changed, which has allowed several other soldiers and veterans to have the device planted to also help them breathe, and not have to be on the ventilator every day. Gabby and I continue to research and learn more about my injury. To tell you the truth, Gabby has been the front runner for many things that we have researched. As I reached my 14th, as an inpatient, I continued to conduct physical therapy at the VA. About that time, Gabby had mentioned to me about a doctor named Carlos Lima from Portugal, who was conducting a type of surgery which used olfactory nerves from the base of your nose and grafted them onto the injured portion of your spinal cord. The next slide. Gabby and I, along with another couple, began to look into it more. And as we did, we started to get more people involved. From my Advocates of the Care Coalition, the VA doctors, Dr. Carlos Rivas, and representatives from the WTU, and a couple of top representatives from TRICARE. As we continued to research, my Care Coalition advocates and their team continued to work together to again change policies that were already in place. And then in August 2010, we were scheduled to have a meeting with a 16-man panel formed by the Surgeon General of the Army, Lieutenant General Spinal. The panel consisted of doctors, psychologists, nurses, and social workers. After presenting my case to the 16-man panel in a hard battle with conflicts of interest, TRICARE policy, and other insurance-related matters, next slide, I received approval to travel to Portugal in April 2011 to undergo the olfactory mucosa autograft procedure. I was the first active duty service member in the U.S. to undergo this type of regeneration transplant. But because of my determination and the determination of the Care Coalition advocates and their team at the WTU and at TRICARE Management Administration, there are now policies within the U.S. Armed Forces that allow other soldiers who are injured to pursue this such treatment overseas. Once I returned, I rested for about 30 days. Once 30 days went by, Dr. Merritt, my advocates, my PTs at the VA, started an aggressive rehab program. But after a few months, we hit a plateau, and we all knew that the rehab needed to be more intense since several advancements in my condition began to change. I was breathing better, my temperature regulation began to develop, and my overall health began to improve. We all knew we had to look into rehabilitation centers outside the VA. Gabby once again took the lead and found a center in Michigan who was conducting the BIOT protocol for rehabilitation. BIOT stands for Brain Initiated, Over the Ground, Non-Robotic, Non-Weight Supported Training. As we continued to look into this center, again, we came across roads with TRICARE and TRICARE ability, as well as some concerns with the center in Michigan. So we started looking all over, and we came across Project Walk in Orlando. Next slide. Whose protocol is also an extensive exercise-based recovery. recovery program for SCI patients. We started looking into the process of payment and traveling. Again, we continue to work with TRICARE, WTU, and other organizations. Next slide. To include the Green Beret Foundation, Special Operations, Warrior Foundation, 9-9, and Task Force Dagger to help pay for the first 3 months of my therapy. Negotiations continue with TRICARE and the director of Project Walk. Once TRICARE and Project Walk came to an agreement, TRICARE started paying for my therapy. And now, several other movement warriors have gone to therapy at several Project Walks around the United States. For the last 2 years, I've been conducting exercise-based therapy, which has paid off. Next slide, next slide. I have been healthy respiratory-wise. I have not developed pneumonia. My posture has improved. I have never developed any pressure sore, and my overall quality of life has greatly improved. Next slide. With exercise-based therapy, we focus on many things that include neuromuscular re-education. Next slide. In this video, I'm conducting military press assisted by a Smith machine and a red cord system. This exercise has many functions from the proprioception standpoint. As I see myself conducting exercise to weight bearing in my arms as I finish each repetition, as I see myself finish each repetition. We also do other weight bearing activities. Next slide. These exercises will help with the overall function of the body, from posture to breathing. The functions of the body from posture to breathing. We also will use functional electrostimulation to help with strength training, flexibility, and gait training. Next slide. In this video, I am walking with the help of several trainers, which helps me with my gait and bearing, and I'll be bearing about 65% of my body. As we know, in the special operations community, we always train using the muscle memory methodology. Next slide. How many times have we fired our weapons? How many times have we gone from position 1 to 4 with our 9mm? Well, this is how we re-educate our muscles. With activity-based therapy, we do just that. Repetition after repetition to increase the muscle memory. Next slide. We walk on the treadmill for about 15 to 25 minutes, 3 times a week. And as a person with a spinal cord injury, I know that I have to continue with this form of intense rehabilitation, which is essential for my recovery. Next slide. This is why Gabby and I decided to set up the Stay in Step SCI Foundation, which will bring this type of exercise-based therapy here to Tampa. Now I would like to introduce the person who has been the front runner and the founder of the Stay in Step Spinal Cord Injury Recovery Center, my wife, Gabby Camargo.
Before I start my presentation, Hector, is this for me? I just want to make sure that I'm sure. Okay, here it is. I would like to say thank you very much to the Care Coalition organization. You guys have been doing an amazing job for the wounded warriors and their families. It's unbelievable the support that we have been receiving since the day that we came to Tampa. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much to all of you. Now I'm going to show a video
Name's Romulo Camargo. Everybody knows me by Romy. Well, I'm a Chief Warrant Officer 3 in the United States Army. I always knew that, I wanted to be in the military, so I went ahead April 6, 1995. I was a signal support system specialist, basically a communications guy. So we opted to do a humanitarian assistance mission. We came under attack, probably about between 25, 30 enemy forces with machine gun fire, RPGs, and AK rounds, and then we were receiving direct fire as I was on the back of the truck. I remember turning to my left, looking for the box of grenades that I had in the Humvee. And as I did that, I felt like somebody had punched me in the back of the neck. And at that time, I heard my buddy Reese start saying that Chief got hit, Chief got hit. And that's all I remember. To this day, I really don't remember when they told me that I was paralyzed. So, I dealt with it, hey, I'm still alive, Our Lord Jesus Christ gave me another chance to live, to be by my wife, with my children.
I know Romulo since I was 12 years old, more than 26 years ago in Venezuela. And he gave me my first kiss when I was 14 years old.
I had the pleasure of being her first kiss. Maybe she had the pleasure of me being her first kiss.
We have been together for 13 years and we got married in 2006.
And what always struck me was how just committed and devoted and dedicated Gabby was to his recovery. I mean, the word champion is probably an understatement. She was constantly 100% committed to his recovery, and it was just amazing how she remained so resolved and so resolute in supporting him.
But 18 months at the hospital, I learned a lot. By his side all the time, taking day by day. The only thing that I knew, Romulo needs me, and I'm gonna be by his side no matter what. I'm just gonna take one day at a time, and that's what I've been doing for the last 5 years.
Gabby said, I think we can do this. We can open up a center of our own, a gym that we could have together.
Let's do something. I know that we can do this in Tampa.
We decided that the name Stay in Step would definitely be right for the type of gym that we want to open up. Stay in step, a step forward towards recovery. That way, everybody's focused on one thing, basically focusing on your rehab and having the support that we're going to give at the rehab center.
In my communications with the leadership of the VA at James A. Haley, I've learned that they believe in what Gabby and Romy are doing, and that it is necessary to have one of these type stay-in-step facilities here to complement and augment what the SCI facility at James Haley is currently offering. That they'll never be able to offer what the needs are for Romy and people like Romy.
With everybody's support here in the community, we can bring up a center that's going to impact so many lives.
So there's a number of ways that people can contribute to this effort. They can donate money, which will make a huge impact on realizing this dream, but they can also donate time, talent, and expertise. And tell a friend, share this initiative, mobilize the community, get people involved. And this is a great story. This is a story that will motivate people to get involved. This is a story that will motivate soldiers and veterans to get back into the game. So, any of those will make a big difference. And we hope that everybody will take some step toward recovery and some step toward helping Romy and Gabby pursue this dream.
And this is what we are trying to do here in the city of Tampa. We are in the process to open this rehabilitation center. Okay, sorry. The next one is my agenda. I'm going to be talking about my mission statement, the services and future services, the phases, and the conclusion. There it is. Can I use the? Thank God, okay. My mission statement. I have to say that I'm blessed to be Romy's partner in life and Romy's partner in this mission. I thank God every day for our relationship. Sorry. Through these years, it's been wonderful. Even under the circumstances, I thank God every day. Many people wonder how I remain strong. For me, I know no other option. When I look at the strength that Romulo has displayed from day one, I'm inspired. It makes me know without a doubt that he can do anything. Has it always been easy? No, it has not. It's been a long road of recovery and a slow process. From the day one, it's been really, really hard, but we did it. And I thank God every day for how he looks now and how he's doing. The transition from the VA, where we spent more than 18 months, to our house to have a normal life, it was very difficult to accept the new reality. Once again, we did it. As you can see, inpatient at the VA, outpatient at home. The outside world labels us caregivers. And I guess that's the truth, because we are always giving care to the person living with a spinal cord injury and to the entire family. This is our family, Andres, Alina. This is the family that I take care of. But I have realized that outside there is many caregivers that they are not as fortunate like me. Again, I feel that I'm a blessed woman because my relationship with God and Romulo. But those are the ones that I want to serve. Those are the ones that I want to help, motivate them. I want to share with them an attitude of determination. I want to give them inspiration and encouragement. I want to provide them a listening environment filled with love and a feeling of community. Because the reality is that outside there is a lot of people living with a spinal cord injury that they are desperate for help. A community must lose the faith, the hope, the motivation, because they don't have any place to go. Most of them, they don't have a family support system and the resources. And those are the people that we want to help. Those are the people that we want to represent through this rehabilitation center. Because it's in our hearts the desire to help those in need. This rehabilitation center is needed in our community here in the city of Tampa. Here are some pictures. Dave, Wonder Warrior, some pictures about the people. This is just part of our community here in Tampa. I'm gonna be talking about the service, it's my favorite part. The first one, of course, we are gonna have the exercise activity-based therapy, like Romulo said before. This therapy is using the natural movement of the body. Dr. Mary, who has more than 40 years of experience, he's the one who's going to be directing and supervising this program. My favorite, the recreational one. When I say my favorite one, this is the area for the family, for everyone, spouses, caregivers, mothers, everyone that just want to go, and this is the area where everybody can go and just relax, talk about their daily routine, their daily experiences. We want to provide a place of comfort, relaxation, and a sense of family. This is what we want to create. It's a concept, so I'm praying to God that we can do something like this. And we're gonna have a TV, sofa, game tables, computers, so when the clients finish their workout session, they can go there and just socialize. The next one, kids' room. I remember from my own experience at the VA, again, where we spent more than 18 months. Our son, Andres, he was almost 2 years old, and it was crazy. Andres running around the hospital, you remember those days. He didn't have any place to play, any place to go, and I remember that Andres, he used to play in Romulo's room, in the bathroom, and so we decided that one of the offices will be used for kids to play. It's not a daycare, it's gonna be just a place where they can go and stay while their loved ones are doing exercises. We are gonna have TV, toys, books, because we are thinking not just about the clients, we are thinking about the whole family. This is a reality for the whole family. Let me get the next one. Family group support. This is very, very important. It is very, very important to reinforce and support the families during the long process of recovery from spinal cord injury. This is a slow process and it's very, very long. I realized that I have so much to share with the caregivers, and I want to give them a relief from the intense daily schedule. And family group support, we are going to be sharing stories so they can feel that they belong to a community, that they're not the only one living this reality. Massage therapy and acupuncture, this is another service that we will be providing at the center for those clients who want to complement their rehabilitation program. Future services, my favorite one too. So yeah, scholarships. That's something that we really, really want to do. We want to be able to help those individuals who doesn't have the financial needs. Those individuals who can't afford this rehabilitation program. That's why it's very important the community support. Because if we have available those funds, we can help those people in need. And that's what we want to do. The other one is handicap accessible beds. We want to have this service for those people who doesn't live here in Tampa, who wants to come from another state. So we have this service available for them. Phases. There is 3 phases that we need to accomplish in order for us to open and operate the center. Sorry. The phase 1 is already complete. It was to establish a stay in step as a non-profit organization, 501c3. It was all the legal paperwork. So thanks to our attorney, Kendall. He's the one in charge and doing everything. Thank you, Kendall. The phase 2 is raise the funds. We are grateful to raise nearly 20% of the funds that we need to open and operate the center. The majority of that is coming from people who believe in our vision, in our mission. We know there's still a long road to go. That's why the community support will be the key of the success of this mission. And the phase 3 will be the opening of staying in step. Hopefully, we can open the center in September. The last thing that I would like to say, Romulo and I, we have the moral commitment to help this community. We understand better than anybody this reality. We live it every day. And again, this is the community that we want to represent through this rehabilitation center. God gave us everything that we need. And staying in step is the physical proof of this. It is very important for every individual to get back in the game. Physically, spiritually, and mentally. Things happen in life for a reason. And it's not the event, it's how you let the event inspire the next chapter of your life. This is a choice and takes discipline, determination, but most of all requires unwavering faith. We have chosen to light the path for those to help others to overcome what they may think is adversity. But to us, this is an opportunity. Let's get back in the game, but let's do it together. We need the community support. As you can see, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Stay in step. Thank you very much today. If you want to know more about this project and support this great cause, you can go to the website www.stayinstep.org, or tonight it's going to be a great event at 6:30, right? At the Tampa Museum of Art. Our global corporation, they're sponsoring these events, and all the proceeds will go to our center. Again, thank you very much, and God bless you all.
Questions. And please, if you're going to ask a question, raise your hand so we can get a microphone to you. I'm hard of hearing. I'm getting older, so please use the microphone. I know some people are a little shy to use the microphone, but you know, this is better than American Idol. Please feel free to use it. Anyone?
Hi, my name is Joe Musselman. I'm with the Honor Foundation. I just have a question about the equipment necessary, you're going to be bringing into the facilities, the workout equipment, exercise equipment, different types of bikes. I'm just wondering on the details.
Well, we didn't bring the list, but I can provide to you. If you give me your email, I can send it to you and tell you more in details the equipment list that we have.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Gabby, is UCF or any of the other universities that have nursing or PT or OT training offered, or if you guys approach them about internships or as far as staffing?
Yeah, right now we're working with Dr. Merritt, who also has a partnership with USF to provide, once the PTs graduate, be able to accept applications to have one PT on board, as well as the internships from USF and University of Tampa and even UCF coming from Orlando. So we're going to have interns as well as the trainers and aides that we're going to have on staff.
All right, we've got you guys are off the hook. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.